All right, so in that video, it talked about how sin doesn't just separate us physically from God, but it also separates us spiritually from God. We know that it separated Adam and Eve physically from God because it says in Genesis 3:8, well, it says first off that they had that physical relationship with God. They were able to walk with him and talk with him. From Genesis 3:8, when it says, when the cool evening breeze was blowing, the man and his wife heard that the Lord was walking through the garden, so they hid from God because they were ashamed. So we know that God was able to walk with them, was able to talk with them, and then we know that they are physically separated from him because in verse 23 it says, so the Lord God banished them from the Garden of Eden. So that would be basically they had that physical separation for them. But because of that sin, we're also spiritually separated from God as well. All right? So that's our third point, which is, again, how does sin separate us from God? Physically and spiritually. Okay, so let's recap. Our main point was...
our choices make or break us.
They do. Okay, so remember, they make us would be for success, or they break us, which would cause failure. Okay? So we have the choice. And then what's our first question? What is sin?
And that's simply to miss the mark of God's perfection.
That's right. Okay, and then how did sin enter the world?
Adam and Eve chose to disobey God.
Yes, they did. And so remember, they ate
terrible.
the fruit. Be cautious of that fruit. Just joking.
Yeah.
No. It's the vegetables you have to watch out for, actually. All right.
Obey your parents.
Yes, obey your parents. That's right. Okay. How did sin separate us from God? Or how does sin separate us from God?
Well, it separates us both physically and spiritually.
That's right. All right. So, lastly, you guys, this last thing. What can we do? Like, what choice can we make? What should be the choices we should make? Should we make choices to where we obey God or disobey God?
Should always obey God.
That's right. So let's
Always
use some
obey God.
examples. If our parents ask us to go clean our room, and we've got a really cool game that we're playing, what should we do, Scuba?
Well, I'm going to have to go with obey our parents and go clean our room. Because
That's
God told us to obey our parents. And if I obey my parents, then I'll be obeying God.
That's right. What about if our little siblings are being super annoying and they're like, hey, and they're being really annoying. How should we, and we're getting frustrated, what choice should we make in that moment?
I can show both patience and kindness to my sibling and be nice to them.
That's right. So we get to make a choice whether or not we want to obey God or disobey God. Okay, so remember, our choices will make or break us. All right, you guys. Huh?
Bye.
Bye!